again and welcome back to the channel. I am continuing coloring in Fragile World and I am doing the axolotl page with you. As you can see, I have been quite busy on it. Now, I am aware that you do not have videos for this side of the page, and the reason for that is because of the fact that it's quite a busy double page spread. I needed to work on this side in order to understand how the colors were going to work together for the entire page. So I carried on with the black axolotl, and I really did struggle with the white axolotl, and to be quite honest, I'm not 100% happy with how the white axolotl has turned out. I'm concerned that the color isn't built up enough, but if I add more red, he'll look more pink and red than white. And I mean, the white axolotl is actually just an albino, so they do have reddish tinges to them, but they're not red. So I have found it quite tricky, but I wanted to be able to kind of figure out how to color the white axolotl in before I come here and I show you how to do it. That way it's more streamlined and I look like I know what I'm doing. But I also needed to work out which shades of green I was going to put where, and as you can see, I've made a lot of swatches and I've marked out in the boxes. Those are all the different green combinations that I have used on this page, which we will use on the same page. So you will have all of these colors listed, and it will be pretty simple for you to be able to carry on coloring this side as well. Now, when it comes to the rocks and the log, as per my video on this page showing you how I colored them in, it's the same process, just carried on here, and the same process I used for this black axolotl I used on this axolotl. For these fish I used PC 1003 and I covered the entire fish with that. Then I used PC 916 and 921, and I built up some color and just depth to them. And then over here on this itty bitty, if I bring you in really close, on this fish here I used this color combination, so PC 1030, PC 938 and PC 1040. But I will show you how to do that on these fish and on here. It's just the yellow fish. They were done on the other side, but you can just use this combination and it will work. As far as the bubbles go, as you can see, I've done some lovely bubbles. I have plenty of bubbles on this page here to show you how I do that. And it's really quite easy and straight. By doing it this way, I've been able to understand what it is I'm actually after, get into the zone, and create something that I can be proud of, and that if you follow my videos, you can be proud of as well. And for my first Kerby page, I'm very, very pleased with how this has come out. So without any further ado, or delay, I'm going to get started with all the greenery and the fish and the bubbles, and I think we'll leave the white axolotl for last, just because it's already about 11 o'clock in the evening and I don't really feel like struggling too much. So the leaves and the bubbles will be quite straightforward for us to color together. So for our first bits of greenery, we're going to come over here, and I'm going to show you how to do these green spots over here. We're just going to do them on this page. So I'm going to zoom you in a bit closer and put a protective page behind. and I'm going to get you started. So the first thing I did is I took PC 989 and I just go ahead and lay it all down. Now underneath the axolotl's body it will cast a bit of a shadow, so this side is going to have a little bit less, its light areas is going to be more over here than up here. If we come here, okay, so then I bring in PC 909 and just in some ways it's a little bit random, and then I bring in PC 9088 for my shadows. So as you can see, it's really straightforward, nothing too complex or difficult. It's just a bit of shadow here, a little bit of green there, a little bit of yellowy green somewhere else, and it all just comes together. And then I finish it off with my PC 989. And then I move on to the next bit and I do the same. Then PC 908. And then PC 989, just to blend it out. So underneath the axolotl's body, we kind of do it a bit opposite. So this is 908. And then PC 909. Now I use this exact same method and combination on the other page, and then I top it off with 989. So basically it's dark green, grass green, and I think it's chartreuse. So bring in some grass green. Then some dark green. Then I blend it out with the chartreuse. And I find this combination works really, really well. So you could use it in other greenery in different coloring books. Let's use the grass green here. And the dark green. Then back to the grass green. Then the dark green. So if you're wondering if I have a pencil extender, the answer is yes, I do. I just don't know where I've put it. And I only have one pencil extender that actually works for me. I bought at one stage a set of pencil extenders, and they were quite cheap. I got them off Amazon, but the Prismacolors just fall out of them, even the smallest section of the pencil extender. So I only have one pencil extender that actually holds the Prismacolor pencils for me, which is a pity. But then sometimes what I do is it gets really small, I'll glue it to the back of another pencil and then just carry on using it like that. And so grass green, now I'm bringing in dark green. And then I use the chartreuse. And then the grass green. Okay. Now I bring in the dark green. And the grass green again. And then the chartreuse. Okay, so that is those tufts of green, which you can do on the other side. Now, for this section, I used PC1011, PC913, and PC907. I probably used a whole lot of the greens, almost most of the greens you would probably find I would have used. And I think 907 is a peacock green, yeah. So you're going to use deco yellow, spring green, and then peacock green. So we're going to come over here. I'm just going to zoom you out a bit. Alright, so here. So you're going to base all the leaves in the deco yellow. Right, so next we're going to take the spring green and we're going to color most of the leaves in the spring green. Again, you want to try and vary your leaves, which is not always easy to do, but just try and think, you know, how can you make them different? Sometimes you can make the tips darker and the base a bit darker. Sometimes you can check the angle of the leaves, how are they going, and if you have dark on this side, you don't want to have dark on dark. You want to try and vary it, and that just helps give a bit of contrast. this one here with the spring green. Okay, so now we're just coming in with the shadowed areas. Okay, then I can come back over it with my spring green. Alright, so now I bring in that deco yellow and I just blend this out now. Now you can have it with a bit more of the spring green, you just lighten it up so you can have less of a yellow contrast, and you could have it just as more of an undertone if you prefer. It really just depends how much yellow you want in your leaves. If you don't want a lot of yellow, use more of the spring green and the peacock green. If you want less green and more yellow, then just vary how much spring green and marine green you use. Just use less. Alright, so it's the same process on the rest of the leaves. So we're going to bring in that peacock green. And just go over that with your spring green. And then the deco yellow, just to blend it all out. Peacock green here at the base. Then the spring green. And then the deco yellow. So spring green. Now this is quite sheltered, so it's actually going to be quite dark. There will be very little deco yellow here because it's blocked by so much. It's got the log, it's got the shadow from the axolotl, and it's, yeah, so it might have a bit more on this side, but we'll make it quite dark because it's not really out in the open getting much light. And then I'll just go over that with the spring green. And I'm going to bring in some dark green just to try and darken up some of this. Alright, so back to my marine, my peacock green. And then the spring green. Some more of that marine green here. And then the deco yellow. You could use an indigo blue to darken up your very deep shadows if you like. Now we're going to get out PC120 and PC988. Which is our marine green and sap green lights. And we're going to come down over to here and we're going to do this bit. So we just use our sap green light. Now what you're also going to do is use some of the white of the paper as your highlight. And then we'll use a blending pencil. So then we bring in the marine green. And then back over with our sap green light. Marine green here. Okay, so then you use a blending pencil and just blend it out. Or you could use a grey-green light or a white pencil, and you could blend it out that way. Alright, so here we come this side and we do the same thing. The grey marine green. The grey-green light. Sorry, no, the sap green light. And then you can use a white pencil and just blend it all out. Or you could use a blending pencil, depending on your mood. You can also use some grey if you want to darken your shadow up. Alright, so we're going to come up here and we're going to do the same thing over here. So I'm just using the sap green light, and next I'm going to bring in my marine green. And then a white pencil. Bring in a bit of 90% French grey. And then go over it with the marine green. And you have quite a nice shadowed area. And we're going to do these bits here. So all I do is I take PC 908. And then you take PC289 and you just blend out that dark green. Then just your dark green again, just to darken up the bits you want darker. And then you take the grey-green light and you just blend it up. You don't need to go all the way up because you don't want to remove your dark shadows. We're just using these two colors. And then we're going to do the same here. Then your grey-green light. Grey-green light again, and you just fiddle with it until you're happy with what you've got. Okay, so now I'm coming back to my chartreuse. And my grass green. And my dark green. And then back over with my chartreuse. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do this color combination on these two here, which is the same as I've got down over on this side here. So this green over here, we're going to bring up and we're going to do over here and down here. So first things first is we're going to put down our apple green, which is PC913. Then we're going to bring in PC908, which is our dark green. Or it's actually the grass green. And then you take the dark indigo and you're going to use the dark indigo to deepen up your shadow area. And then you go back over it with your grass green or PC908. And then you blend it out with apple green PC913. You could add a bit of deco yellow in here as well, just to brighten up your highlights. So dark indigo here. Then you come over it with your dark green or PC908. PC908. Alright, now you use apple green. And some deco yellow. And then some more dark indigo. The PC908, which I think is your dark green. Right, so now we're going to do that over here. Right, I think I'm going to use a totally different color now. I'm going to use PC1005 and PC109, which is over here, this color, and we're going to bring it up into here, well, somewhere around here, possibly this one here, and up here. So if I bring you out a little bit so you can see, I want to bring this color, which is like more of a richer color, up here and over here, and then I want to do this blue over here, and over here, maybe that as well. I'm not sure about that one right now. See, this is why I had done it off camera, because it's such to balance the colors in a way that makes some sense. It's quite a challenge. I mean, it's not, and it's doable. It just takes some thought. So it's going to be Prussian green and lime peel. Alright, I found a lime peel, so we'll just use this one. So it's PC109 Prussian green and PC1005 lime peel, and we're going to use that over here. I actually think it will look quite nice, and we'll do it up here. We want to have our Prussian green, and you want it in your darker areas. Alright, and we're also going to bring in some 90% French grey, just to help us with our darker shadows. It will just create a bit more contrast. Alright, and then we go over it with our Prussian green. And then we bring in the lime peel. and lime peel. Alright, let's try the lime peel in these crevices. Back in with my lime peel. And then to the Prussian green. Lime peel in on the vein, and then I want some 90% French grey back over it with the Prussian green, some lime peel down here. And then I'm coming in with my lime peel. Back in with my Prussian green. And then my 90% French grey. Okay, so 90% French grey. This is the Prussian green. Then we come in with the Prussian green. The lime peel. Now we go back with the Prussian green. And then we have our lime peel. Okay, so now we'll come up here and do the same thing up here. So 90% French grey. Alright, so now we use the Prussian green. And then the lime peel. Alright, Prussian green. Lime peel. Alright, so using Prussian green again. And then lime peel. And then we have Prussian green again. And then we have lime peel. I've completed one page now, and now this is the only page left to complete, which means we are making really good progress. So if we come up here with the 90% French grey, right, and then Prussian green. Right, just needed to sharpen my Prussian green. And then we're going to bring in lime peel. So let's come along to the last section. All right, so first we're going to bring our pails. To bring in the cobbled turquoise first, because I use the jade green to soften it. Right, then we come back to our cobbled turquoise. The jade green. And then the pale sage. Right, there we go. That is the, if I zoom you out, that is what your page will look like when you have completed all the log of the rock, your black axolotls, and the green plants. So again, just to recap, the yellow fish is a base of PC1003, followed by PC916 and 921, the darkest orange for your darkest shadows. And that's normally, I place those in the tips of the tail, around the tip of the face, behind the gill. So you should be alright for those fish. They're really little, so you don't really have to worry too much. You just want to create a little bit of a gradient so that they stand out. And then in my next video I will show you how to do the bubbles and the fish and the white axolotl. Now I'm not going to sit and color all the bubbles with you. I will just show you how to do maybe a small section, and then you go and do the rest. You do the rest on your own, and it will be the same principle for the bubbles on the rock and the logs. So we are almost done. As you can see, it's really lovely. It's pretty straightforward. Kerby Rosanes books are really lovely to color in. He does an excellent job at showing you where your shading needs to go. So if nothing else, just follow that and you'll be okay. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed this color along, and I will see you in the next video for the bubbles and the fish. Until next time, happy coloring!